The belted sow you're looking at right now is 244-13. Excuse me, and as we've watched this video here for a second before we started talking, we've had some really good banter back and forth between Boots and I about these 244s. There's actually 3 of them in the sale, -12, -13, -14, and then there's a maternal sister to them that's a solid black next in tension. And all of these sows obviously are daughters of a Dirty Secret sow that sold in 21. And, you know, I'm going to reference that 21 sale a lot. And I don't know if this is the time to say it or not, but that 21, that sale in 2021, I think we eclipsed a mark, from a sale gross that I don't know that had ever been reached before in the purebred pig business. And we were pretty proud of that gross that day and the sale results and all of those things. But looking back, especially as I've put this catalog together in retrospect, we sold a lot of really good stuff in 2021. And as I think back, I don't think they oversold. I think that the hogs were good. I think those sows commanded that value. And the fact that they're still a big part of what we're talking about today tells me that they were legitimate. So the mother of these 244s sold in 21. She was actually bred to Little Bro. She was a Dirty Secret bred to Little Bro, and I know that she was attractive for that reason. That sow was very maternal. She was very prolific in the crate. She's backed by an ante-up Mountain Man sow, and then if you go a few generations further, you'll get to 5311, the old Black Attack sow. So if you really study the skeletal build of these 244s and look at that rear leg and the way that it works, all of that traces back to 5311. I can tell you exactly why they're built that way. But they're Provoke daughters. I don't want to understate Provoke's impact on our program. This one's actually bred to Absolute. She's due the 20th of June. They're not all identical, but if you really strip them down and study the way they're put together in the kind that they are, I think there's a lot of resemblance in these 3 and certainly a lot of quality. Boots.
Yeah, I think visually you could make the case that of the 3, this one probably sits in the middle of what all 3 bring together. She still has the same punch, but you can see on video here, I mean, that's as good designed up high as they can get in terms of their levelness of tail head, length of hip, and height of shoulder. We actually fed a brother to these 3 sisters, the Collard family did, that won a few jackpots there, and I think he was reserve, or he might have won Gala that year. I can't remember exactly, but regardless, that pig fed very well. And these, I guess it kind of has always been fun going back the past year or two and feeding pigs out of these sows because that bear fed so well. And these sows have honestly generated pretty close to the same amount in terms of their feedable, in terms of their pig's feeding ability. These things have started out skinny at times, and they've manned up with the best of them, because they're built good and they're organized in their skeleton. And then again, bred to Absolute here, who's got all the extras in the world. Man, this thing ought to be out of the world here.
Yeah, and I think you just touched on something that probably will get repetitive throughout this process, but I've always believed that these females have got to be closer to the middle than the boars that we breed them to. And I think this sow in particular is a great representation of, my philosophy on what females need to be. They've got to look like females. They've got to act and perform like females. And I think that's difficult to do if they aren't put together and if they don't have that sort of that look, that immaturity, that looseness of skeleton, and all of the things that this one represents certainly falls in line. So this is 244-13. She sells as lot 31. She's a Provoked Dirty Secret, bred to Absolute, due June 20th.